All right, paranatural detectives we are. What could possibly go wrong? Phew. Gonna assume they're not real. It's not real. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminoles wards, your shadow looming over like an omen. A small terrified "oh" escapes from Plaisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. She's so afraid of this. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminoles trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Pain threshold. Break down the door. Probably not. Let's not even try that. I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself. Anyway, I have the lock anyway. I mean the key. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. No, I'm not going to tell him to go first. Let's go. So we can do this. So I have a skill point. What skill would I want to increase? Oh no. I may be bad at this. What would I want to increase more? So I've given myself 1 point of reaction speed at the beginning, then an endurance and a volition. We've got our stat points up. I was definitely tempted by interfacing, just because it seems like a really cool ability. The weird little grabby hands and all the weird shit they can do. Encyclopedia is nice. Drama, visual calculus. I'll probably just go deeper and deeper down the well of the things I'm already good at, I suppose. But I'm a little worried about permanently going too far down that direction, and now I'm like non-functional. But you know, I didn't make this character type to be functional. Interfacing. What could go wrong? Anythings. Hey, that's the first time I've seen that. That's a very obvious thought bubble. Makes it very easy to see that it's happening. Distracting even.
What is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It's an adventure. No, it's a gym. He disagrees, though it looks like no one's been here in ages. Yeah, it's definitely Eastern inspired. The Seminoles charms. A bunch of paper charms on a door. Familiar. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on. Some specks of dust shimmer in the faint beam of daylight, falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest, which I will ignore. Let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here. Sounds good. I'm surprised he's putting up with this, honestly. Oh, tools, right. Flashlight. Ta-da! Goes into my held slot. Yep. Oh, look at it go. It's following my little my mouse around. Kind of. Police flashlight bearing the logo of the Gunstellung RAO. The small dynamo backed inside this handheld illumination device theoretically gives you the ability to produce a tiny amount of the electricity anytime, anywhere. Oh, it does follow my mouse. It's kind of... Ah, that's kind of neat. Gives a little sense of tactile feeling in a way that you're not really used to in these games. An RPG. of this perspective. Sand is dripping from a punch bag. How? How long has this place been abandoned and sand still coming out of it? It smells like leather and sweat. The poster says, Citius Fortis, the rest is worn off. Shot put ball. Why? Why not, I guess? Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe. Yeah. I wouldn't trust anything right now that's around here. Price $4.50. Could make some money off of that, I suppose, if I went that way. A ball used for playing shot put. You feel like you should hold on to this and make good use of it. To sell such beautiful old school sports equipment would be a sin. What? Why? Ew. No, sell the shit out of it. Why would you want old school sports equipment? That's weird. A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. Physical instrument. Trivial. Success. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of those weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. Visual calculus. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Oh yeah, doesn't that mean they'll come off, potentially? Legendary? I have like no chance of success. I'm gonna hurt myself. But hey, I noticed the collars. That slightly increases my chance from 0% to 0%. Because the 3% chance we have of success is just like the default amount. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There's no collars on the barbell. You're right. The weights may fall off, but not to touch it then. What kind of bastard just removes the collars? It should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore. I'm not picking that up. There's some checks that have like a trivial chance of success, but they might succeed, but there's not really consequences for trying. Probably. Then there's other ones that might actually kill me. This is spooky. A little dark in here. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. I don't know what a demijohn is. I guess I could just look that up. Demijohn. Oh. Like a big jug. Yeah. A bulbous, narrow-necked bottle holding up to from 3 to 10 gallons of liquid, typically enclosed in a wicker cover. Yep. Yep, it's just those big glass jugs that have a narrow neck, the kind of a squarish, circular body, and a little ring handle, oftentimes by the handle, but not always. There are some of them that have the weird, like, braided wicker outside around them. Yeah. Yeah, that's a familiar visual. Had no idea what it was called, that's for sure. Demijohn. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind you of blades. A naked mannequin torso. A strange yellow color. But where are the clothes it used to display? Ooh. Wow. That's the biggest pile of money I've ever seen. That definitely pays for the map. Project Dread board. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing is faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Let's look at the drawings, I guess. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent Welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even aether Welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Drama. You should adopt one of those Welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a Welkin. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. Examine the Welkin, this is important. Not necessarily, but I like looking at things. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin. Its face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. Jesus Christ. The Holder, the Dwerg, the humans, and even the headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all. The lieutenant can't help but comment. An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Whisper, one of them is a Welkin supremacist. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Kim nods at the Welkin's facial hair. Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game. Yeah? Yeah? Is that right, game developers? It's like, yep, it's a game within a game within a game within a game within a game. Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the Welkins. How about the photos? Just look at those details. So much effort. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds. Abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark. Carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers by boreal dwerg. Yurts under the snow. Great mammoth-like beasts of burden. A pinned postcard reads, The heat-death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wield becomes untethered from the sun, drifting through the universe. So that's the same name we had before, Wield. It's the tabletop universe that was being sold in the store in the other room. So somebody back here was rather interested in this content. It seems like this was a game room of some sort. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a sword next to me. You can see a sword sticking out of the... Those are a bunch of swords, it looks like. Maybe this... I'm not sure what I'm looking at there. Because I'm looking to my left as a weird machine of some sort suspended on cables. I'm curious. Maybe this is even more. Maybe this wasn't just some hyper-advanced D&D session where the really involved group that had a lot of source material and like sketches all around them. What if they were like filming something? Or like doing pre-production for an actual like big expensive project of some sort? I'm curious. Huh. A licensed Wield project. Inspect the schedule. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Perception. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Encyclopedia. Minimi stands for Mini Meeting. It's a part of a bigger framework for managing work called Run. Station 41 managed to implement it a few years ago, but failed. Or tried to, I mean. What happened? As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region. The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field and nothingness and concludes, looks like they didn't make it. A note at the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the production schedule filament for details. Production schedule? Maybe I'm right. I don't know. It looks like they didn't make it. The two ideas that come to mind are the idea of like, is this a campaign where they were keeping track of like the population of survivors or something, kind of like my playthrough of Frostpunk, where you're a bunch of people surviving in the cold and the population might be dwindling and it might die out, and that's the big risk. Or is this a production? Like it says production schedule, so I'm thinking like, are those their days where they successfully got like scenes filmed or scenes animated? Maybe if that's what they're doing, if they have this special thing looks like it might be a fixed camera. Like what if they're doing like motion capture or something? Except we use ampoules that are destroyed when we take a picture with the camera we have. So like it doesn't seem like they're probably not using motion capture. I don't know. But it might be a set. I don't know. Inspect the notes. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans. Call in, tune out, We're all untethered, and heat death of the universe. Perception. The full text reads, heat death of the universe is the new black. Another note says, the biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. Turn around here. So there's a weird mannequin that used to have clothes on it. But like these seem to be a series of weapons in this little holding pin here. And what is this? A projector? Mainframe. This appears to be some kind of machine with cube-sized hearts and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. A radio computer, says the lieutenant, watching you circle around the machine, just sitting here without anyone in sight. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. Reaction speed. What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? Interfacing. This is the RAM Civic radio computer model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a RAM-compatible printer. Do you think I should turn it on? We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it. Turn it on. The machine lights up, like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing virescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment's wide open. Let's look in the compartment. It's empty, like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left tangling, disconnected. This is where the memory should go, the lieutenant notes, observing the machine. Play? Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player. Print. Nothing happens. Play again. Nothing happens. Yeah. There's no tape. We do have this, an empty cassette case. That might not be the kind of tape. That's probably not the kind of tape. We need to go find a proper tape. Interesting, though. Curious. Blue velvet. Soft to touch. Moth bitten. Frequency fireplace. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. Conceptualization. The whole thing resembles Kedron mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. Hold on, how do I know what Kedron mosaic tiles are supposed to look like? History class. Students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun. What am I looking at? Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, 0.7, 0.9. Some written notes too. Sparse and cryptic. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system, split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. We're dealing with something medical here? You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Wait, who's the Game Master? Someone very important. Conceptualization. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. If it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. Reception. A list of names under the station suggests people across 6 isolas would be playing. Mundi, Isolind, Katla, Grad, Samara, and even in Malra. Logic. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull off anything like this. My god. The lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Why do you say that? The schedule. He nods the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding. What else? Squint the lines. Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. What are we looking at here? This is weird.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. No, that's not it. I think. The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands. Interfacing. Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it to work on radio computers. This entire area is a metaphor, like an analogy to like the idea of an indie studio making an RPG, and the inherent contradiction of like, even though you're running out of time and running out of money, you just keep getting more and more ambitious about the systems and ideas you want to implement in your automated tabletop game. It's really funny to go into a ridiculously meta place like this early in the playthrough. How are they planning to do that? Through call-in stations. He nods at the fireplace. None of the players had to be physically present. Anyone in the world could participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts. Interfacing. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies. Has anyone ever done this before? Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Koningstein. You know, places with industry. Rhetoric. Not in Revicol West, among the ruins. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology. And this was a role-playing game? Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. He points to the chalkboard. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the Wield board game, with heat death thrown in. Conceptualization. Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished. What do you think happened to the company? No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Wow. Indeed. It's ambitious and untethered from reality, but the lieutenant tilts his head, thinking, they even left the computer here. It's almost like something tragic happened. Let's finish it. That's ridiculous. You can say they're insane if they ever thought they could do this. Or it was just a play to cheat money other investors. Or it's the curse that got them. Or the world's lonely and cold. This would help it. Let's finish this. How? And do we have any money? Let's see if we can get more money so they can finish it. Finish who? I don't know. The world is cold and lonely. This would help keep it company. Let's finish it. A half smile breaks out on his face. It's too late for that, I'm afraid, he says, looking around in the derelict room. The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor. Okay, he concludes. Let's keep moving. Aw. This is a tragic little room. It's just this sad little room where an RPG died. What a thing to include in your game, huh? Probably autobiographical in some ways. Scribbled across a notebook, developers of most advanced RPG in the universe. We have a door there, but I want to see if I can get to here because there's more stuff there. That's how you get around that direction. Okay, here we go. Wow, making bank all of a sudden. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Conceptualization. Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. I don't get it. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, then pivoted to producing the other. But the question is, which did they start with? And which did they pivot to? That's a good question. What a strange leap of imagination. And yet they still failed. How sad. Reality is ruthless. What is that? Oh. Wait, is this the memory? Ah. Whoa. Freaky cube. What's up with this? The production schedule filament memory. This cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in her hand. Its delicate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side reads production schedule. Note. This filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Ah. We have even more context now to stack into this thing. So let's do that. I'm having fun with this. Insert the production schedule. Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. Play. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air. Huh. East Insulindian... Insulindian... This is always going to bother me. East Insulindian repeater station. Good evening. Fortress accident on Rue de Saint-Ghislain. This is East Insulindian repeater, station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Wait, what are you, a machine or are you alive? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old, and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The lieutenant whispers into your ear. She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid. Yvonne, my partner, tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid. They're merely cautious, says the old lady. It's my job to protect their filaments as password repeater and the East Insulindian station. Okay, but where are you? How'd you know where I am? I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, some static then. I am sitting in my cubicle surrounded by a wall of radios. Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident. Why did you call me Fortress Accident? Fortress Accident is the company whose name the terminal you're currently using has been registered to. Do you have any other information about this company? One moment. You hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care. Fortress Accident, SCA, produces revolutionary, interactive, call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says. That's not bad. And what's that? This interactive, call-on radio play. This MMO RPG. The static drowns her response. Any other questions? You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. So I didn't get any information. So what's the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. You mean that glowing thing I put inside? Yes. Is that the production schedule? I don't know. The old lady sighs, as a wave of static distorts her voice to a robotic sprawl. If you are unsure, could you please take a look? How do I do that? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called. It's called the production schedule. Good. Please repeat the password. Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. This is the police. Please open this thing. The voice recites, I am contractually obligated to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament. I'm afraid we're not doing that, unless we want to wait a month. Now can you please repeat the password? The voice in the machine asks again. She sounds cold in the damp air. A password. I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? No. A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations. Is it my birthday? They'll know. I don't know the password. Received. I will register this login attempt. Don't worry, passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later. Fortress Accident? Is there anything else I can do for you today? That's all for now. Thank you and goodbye. The old lady's voice disappears along with the static. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. Print? Nothing happens. Ah. Remove production schedule, I guess. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. And leave. We'll just have to see when I can find a password. And also the context for why I'm doing this, perhaps. Because I'm kind of just poking around because I can, admittedly. You know me. Wow, it's already 7:30. We're gonna have to learn what it's like for time to switch over to the next day soon, probably. Where are we? I don't know why I opened that like it was gonna help. Whoa! Ooh, magnesium. And money. Look at the fucking giant bear! Wait, the bear's a refrigerator. What? Cool. I'm gonna go back. Just because there was another hallway. This door clearly goes to a whole new place with a giant bear refrigerator. Neat. Also, it was powered. This area isn't powered. Well, maybe this area is powered. Yeah, he thought the power went beyond, but that computer turned on. Maybe the power's just not on in the gym. What's this? An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. Folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This must be where the entity lives. Knock on it. Ah! That was louder than I expected. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Knock on it harder? Still nothing. No one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now. Logic. If this is really an entrance to the chimney, then there must be a furnace somewhere as well. Maybe there's another way to get in. Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things? I can try. Blow gently on your bruised knuckles. I need to find this malignant entity, Kim. This is the chimney. Kim sighs. Ghosts aren't real. Didn't your parents tell you that? In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further. Yeah, but I just wanted to check it out. What? The bow collector. It's early in the morning. The world is dark blue. The sparks light her face, a delicate composition of triangles. The street seems to grow longer, like a dolly zoom. And there's something in the air as you stand there and wave back at the shape growing smaller and smaller. Something that has always been there. A great see-through world. The tenderness you feel, the ghost of Revachol between you, carrying your signals, the holy messenger. +3 shivers, the third presence. Yeah, this is me dealing with my shit. That was part of me processing the bad news. Me kind of revisiting my past. Big bonus to shivers. It's catching up with my yellow stats now. Interesting. Suddenly I've got all sorts of this. Raise the hair on your neck. Tune in to the city. Cool for city lovers. The wisest of the streetwise. The genuinely supranatural. Shivers come when the temperature drops and you become more keenly aware of your surroundings. It enables you to hear the city itself, to truly belong to the streets. It is a supernatural ability. Old wrongs play out in present time. Scenes across the city happen in front of you, but who is speaking to you? At high levels, shivers may make you seem mad to the outside world as you listen to the city. You don't listen to others. Your superiors may begin to worry. With a low shivers, though, you will seldom hear the city speaking to you, and if you cannot hear it, how can you ever save it? Well, it's been low until now, but now it's pretty alright, all things considered, so we'll see how that goes. I do wonder what cutoff point I should be thinking for to stop increasing certain stats before they become like a thing that starts debilitating me for the rest of the game. Ooh. La Delta 51. The sunlight has made this postcard almost completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes. Overhead, the ghosts of the skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist. Vapor rising from the delta on which the district was built. The postcard is prepaid. It's prepaid. That means that probably means they have to honor it or something. That's totally how this works, right? Oop. The floorboards creak. Do they now? Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Does someone live here? Does someone live here? You told me the floorboards creaks. Now I'm wondering. Maybe not. I was thinking maybe I could set something off if I really specifically make them creak a certain way. Interesting. Let's head back to the other place, which seemed neat too. I'm intrigued. I'm really off topic, but you know, RPGs. Side quests are half of what we want to do most of the time. And this is a really cool, bizarre, intricate location. I kind of just wandered in here because somebody thinks that there's a ghost in their house, but I'm happy I did. Look at this freaking cool ass bridge fridge, or bear fridge. Bridge fridge. Ice bear fridge. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. Visual calculus. This bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? What is this thing? It looks like a gigantic ice bear. The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. Crack open the door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. Relax, Kim, it's a fridge. Of course. Just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge door. Let's take a look inside. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name Brevicol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. Take the note from the door. Oh, we just took it completely. Okay. You pocket the note and little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. Oh, we took them too. Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like a fridge. Perception. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate. It seems like someone's here. That's why there's supposedly a haunting, probably. What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Not to mention one that's on. Not a very efficient use of space either, although I kind of want one. Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. The lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light. Oh. Yeah. a big inefficient fridge would be like for sales. It's an eye-catching fridge that you would sell the ice cream from. Right, this would be a customer-facing item. Of course. I don't know. I think it's just the aesthetic had this bat cave feel. Like this was just someone's personal fridge and they're just crazy. And this is just the kind of shit that they own because they're all extravagant like that. Some sort of rich nerd. But no, it's totally like an attraction of sorts. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore? I know, says the lieutenant. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What's even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. The lieutenant points at the red, snaky cable running from the fridge. The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. Close the door. Let's take a look at that note then. Handwritten note from the fridge. A handwritten note you found from the giant ice bear fridge. It still bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to the refrigerator door. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface. Does it say anything interesting? The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder. Esprit de corps, or whatever that is. Decors? Esprit de corps? I don't know. I'm doomed. This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Read the note. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. Wait, Kuno? Really? You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sulislaw. I wonder who wrote this note. Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. Maybe they had to leave in a hurry. That's a plausible hypothesis. Remind me again, what's a filament memory? It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer. Interfacing. It's like the production schedule you found, only this one's an off-site copy. Who's this illiterate ginger kid? Really? Lieutenant looks at you, the corner of his mouth curved into a smug grin. You don't have a single guess. You mean Kuno? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get its hands on a filament memory, even if he doesn't know what to do with it. He'd probably just try to pawn it off for speed, based on our encounter. Do you have an idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be? I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge. Interesting. Interesting. Ice cream maker. Is that the ice cream maker? Or is this the ice cream? It's probably this, right? An ice cream maker. Defrosted and unplugged. That's not good. If it's supposed to have something cold inside of it. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Oh. Hello. Place is pretty nuts. A frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Aha. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turn the ice cream crank, or try to crack open the lid. If you slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. Interfacing. No. This is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with your regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time. Hand-eye coordination. If you want to try again, then you'll need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective. I'll just be wasting my time because I need a super pry bar. Well, I'm not really afraid of wasting my time, so let's take a look. Oh man. Pry bar not strong enough. -20. I have to crit. Alright. Well, let's not fuck that up. But hey, my gloves gave me a better grip. Turn the crank. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. In the distance. Hopefully the crank didn't, like, destroy what's inside or something. Let's see. The pry bar does not... Oops. The pry bar does not result in any stats. Not like my cool clipboard. Nosifed. Hey. Various chances to keep myself alive in the future. A breaker box. 2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. So I can unplug either of them to turn them off, which I suppose would thaw this machine. Might have to wait a day or something. I want to be a little careful. I'll do that as a last resort, perhaps. I'm just worried that maybe the thing inside of it might require being cold, so leaving it to sit long enough to thaw might also destroy what's inside of it. I'm also just kind of looking around, admittedly. Insane mesh tank top +1 drama. Oh my god. Mesh tank top. It's just not a great look for me. Drama, clinically insane. Where did you even get that one? No, really, who put it in that drawer? No further comments. Wear it at your own risk. I'm supposed to be a police officer. Let's not wear a mesh tank top. Intercom wires running into the breaker box. The staircase goes somewhere, but let's not go there right now. Money. I love money. A cellar window. People's feet shuffling on in the street. This is like a dungeon. Like in a... This is like an RPG dungeon. And like it's not... It's like we're not doing the like combat and boss fights and all that, but like... It's having the outcome of me just picking up a whole bunch of money at the kind of pace you'd be used to doing that in a place like this. I just find that amusing. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has struck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. There's like a guns stash around here. A hole in the wall. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in. Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine light on the hidden compartment. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look? Okay, I do. Your hand reaches into the darkness and spider webs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away. Rifles, Kim? The lieutenant steps closer, curious. Are these any good? Inspect the rifles. Most of them are rusty and inoperable like the rest, but one catches your eye, a bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. This one looks nice. Take the rifle. An antique Belle Margrave rifle. An old Belle Margrave from the Revolution. The lieutenant notes with approval. His eyes are gleaming. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. Where are we? Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. He points up at the rifles under the ceiling. Must be an old weapons cache. What does this mean? A rifle here. It means they are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future. Empathy. He likes this find. Well, I'm glad that you are being entertained. I'll be self-conscious about my off-topic tangents when I have a second character that is constantly following me around. Which I guess is often the case, but this one in particular is like someone who's like specifically potentially judging me for my weirdness, and I have not had a great start with him. So, sure, I'm glad I found a cool thing that you think is neat. There's the rifle. A broken Mel McGrave from ages past. It's a 4-shot bolt-action military rifle with a wooden frame. The wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now. But there's something going on here. Central furnace. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace? Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats. Smear your hands with coal? Why? Look inside the furnace. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness, you can hear chatter. It's coming from above, a voice or several voices talking to each other near the smoke chamber upstairs. Seems like somebody might be upstairs. We've had hints of activity. But now it seems like behind that shutter I can't get past, there might be people that are hiding back there. Perception. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying, or what's producing them. What are you doing? The lieutenant asks when he sees you climb halfway into the furnace. I hear the murder of the hanged man talking. That's a hell of a leap. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone upstairs. Wait, really? He looks up at the ceiling. Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. Yell hello into the furnace. Not a low chance of success, but not a great one. Those voices I heard. Maybe it's the malignant entity. Pele said it lives in a chimney. You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected, but malignant entities don't exist. At least not in the supernatural kind. Always has to be the skeptic, this man. I mean, I'm skeptic. But still. There we go. I don't care what anyone thinks about what I look like now. No one can see me besides him. Meanwhile, I want to get as much physical instrument as I can, which is not much. It's just that. If I'm gonna do a check, I might as well be ready for it. It's almost a 50-50 chance. Hello. Wow. That was loud. Also, it worked. Neat. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes through the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then you hear a woman's voice answer. This is the police. Who's there?
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There is a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside. The lieutenant nods, then points upstairs. After you, officer. Well. Now I take off my embarrassing shirt that seems to have paid off brilliantly. Really unfortunate, game, that you have justified my behavior. Well, I passed a physical instrument check. Look forward to that. All right, who the hell's upstairs? We might get down to the people that... I bet these people have been engaging in activity that even they probably don't even know. Because they're not even being secretive. They just are like, yeah, come on up. They probably have been like convincing this lady that her freaking house is haunted. And there's just like, there's people like squatting somewhere.